was so fucking excited to get this bottle.
I know you were. Which one do you still have to get, or do you have the lineup now?
I have to get the high rye. I have to get the port.
Oh,
the high rye is like a $300 or $400 MSRP. The port is like $1,000, or not MSRP, secondary.
I was about to say.
And the port is like $1,000.
Well, that's because I don't even think it's gone. Has it even come anywhere close to this region? I feel like New York would have been the only place to get it. Yeah,
I don't actually know. But so this is probably the most expensive one I'm ever going to get my hands on. Secondary.
Probably.
This is about $150 bottle, I'd say.
Fair. Well, let's dive into it. Fruity, like grape. I get like red grape.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a wine way, like a fresh, sweet red grape.
Right.
A little bit of oak, a little bit of caramel candy.
Yeah, this is falls more along the lines of almost like that kind of candy sweetness.
Yeah.
But it has a little bit more. It almost is like.
I want to say I get like hard candy smell too. Like that's been a common thing with
like Jolly Rancher almost.
A little bit, yeah. Like no distinct one, but like a Jolly Rancher of some kind. And isn't that a thing with 1792? Is like most of the stuff we've tried from them has had like, a ton of candy notes, except for the foolproof. But I haven't had the foolproof in such a long time. And
I also have a Storpic now. We gotta try. So
we'll try it at some point for sure. Because I want to give it another chance. Because the last 2 times I tried it, I was not a fan. It was too hot for 125. All right, into the taste. Okay, that goes down easy.
Yes, it does. A little bit of oak.
Definitely oak. Like it has like a little bit of oak bitterness, and it's not like a chocolate bitterness or like a cocoa bitterness. Like it's a pure oak bitterness, but it's not tannic either. It's not super tannic.
Right.
Not getting a ton of super sweet notes either.
No.
A little bit of candy maybe.
But like, not distinct enough that I can pick it out.
No, not at all. You get a little bit of vanilla in the finish. I want to say burnt sugar throughout.
I was going to say, I also get a kind of drier note near the end that's almost reminiscent of like, it's oak, but it's not, it's a little bit different than the rest of the oak notes I'm getting throughout. It's almost like it gets kind of like that leathery kind of note.
I'd say that there's leather in here. Either leather or like cigar tobacco almost.
I could definitely see that too.
Yeah, no, this is actually not that sweet at all. Like, this is definitely a very oak-forward bourbon, which...
This has also been opened recently, so it might do what the Rebel Tenure did.
It very well could, yeah.
Or
it might need a little bit of time.
This has only been open like a week.
Yeah, higher age-stated stuff usually does need a little bit of time to open. Either that or high proof. High proof or high age statement. Either one needs a little bit of time to open up. So, I don't know. I'm definitely curious to see what it would be like in another couple weeks. I don't dislike it. It's just very, very oak forward.
Right.
Like, even in a way that, like, Knob Creek 12 isn't, or, like...
Right.
Knob Creek 15, for that matter, wasn't this...
Right.
Oaky.
That's actually kind of why I like it, because I don't have a lot of high-age stuff that isn't sweet.
That's fair.
It fills a niche for me, especially since I like the notes I get on the nose so much.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. If I had to say anything that's like more of a savory oak forward, I think that the Rebel Yell that I have is probably my favorite. The other one being what's the other really, really oak forward one I like? Probably the Elijah Craig C920. That's super oak forward.
Yeah, the C919 and 920 were both really oaky.
Yeah. Still wish I could get my hands on a B520.
I know.
I don't foresee it happening, unfortunately. Although for some reason more of it's showing up in trading groups now. Don't fucking know why.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure that one out either.
I also resent the motherfucker who got it by trading an A121 for it.
I know.
I was like...
I saw that too, and I was like...
Especially whenever I put up A121 a few weeks before that, like... with B520 as an option. I think that was what irked me the most, was just that this was
As the cool kids say, oof.
Oof. But anyways.
Yeah, I still was really happy to get this bottle.
I also like that it's lower proof because most like higher age statements are typically higher proof as well. Like
right, it is nice to have the option where they didn't keep it proofed up high.
Yeah, like this is what, like 48%, so like 96 proof.
96.6.
Yeah, no, like that's honestly, like, I feel like that's a good sweet spot for like a good easy sipping bourbon.
Yeah, and it's nice to have a high aged one that isn't easy sipping bourbon. I feel like this is one that I would love to pair with cigars too.
Depends on the cigar, but I can see where you're coming from with that.
Typically, well, this is one I like to experiment with. Is kind of what I meant.
Fair.
See what.
Yeah, because for cigar pairings, I typically want, depending on what cigar I'm smoking, usually less oak forward and usually a sweeter bourbon is what you want to go with.
Right.
If you want more of an oak presence, usually a Scotch or an Irish is what you want to go with for like a higher age statement with a cigar. Typically, because there's still sweeter notes available on like Irish and Scotch as you increasing the age on bourbon doesn't necessarily make it more sweet. It can, and a lot of times it does, but a lot of times it doesn't either.
Case in point.
Yes.
So what I traded for this, I got this, a pint of a Buffalo Trace barrel pick, and a sample of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch 5. Which is like before they did the current naming convention.
Yes.
For a Balvenie Doublewood 17-year.
I mean, you may have lost a little bit on MSRP, but like value-wise, that's definitely there.
Especially considering I'm not like, I can get into Scotch, but like, I'd much rather a 17-year $160 Scotch go to somebody who will appreciate a 17-year $160 Scotch.
Here's the thing about Scotch too, like bourbon. When it comes to whiskey, bourbon is like the one that like you get the most out of like the wood. So like people will see the wood as like and the sweet notes from it is like the big thing about bourbon. With Scotch, the biggest thing that plays a part is like the environment, terroir, whatever you want to call it, which is why they have 5 distinctly different areas of Scotches in Scotland, between Speyside, Islay, Highland, Lowland, and I can't remember the 5th. Either way, it doesn't matter. They all have their own like distinct like flavor profiles to them, because basically the environment does play a role, which is also why Irish tastes different than those do.
Right.
Also for a couple different reasons, but
I mean, we've seen how a bourbon can taste pretty significantly different, putting it in a different part of the same fucking building, let alone a different country.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't remember what I initially was going with that, but basically, like, Scotch is going to appeal to, like, more people in a different way because they're trying to experiment with, the environment and what that impact has on it. You and I are more so like, let's see what oak does to bourbon and what it does to this. And usually the mash bill is different too, because Irish and Scotch whiskey are 100% malt whiskeys. Right. This has got a bunch of different stuff thrown in.
Yeah.
So 1792.
Yeah.